let's watch it. And I'm going, you're the one that said you can't call this. Man, where was the Roger Crockett bet on that one?
Well, I learned my lesson on that betting stuff with you, but man.
When no money's on the line, it's easier to pick a winner.
There's no pressure.
Well, I gave him the field, and I took one car out of 43.
And beat me.
Yeah, this sounds like my partner Brian when we do a game Nudge Your Neighbor up there and with quarters. And
I was watching
he
that
has
last night.
He has a lot of my bank on that side. We started with a certain amount of quarters, okay, and that's it. And he's got like 3 stacks. I got like a half a stack left. I think I won one last night, but I didn't even want to play Nudge Your Neighbor because you just never knew who was going to be in front, who was going to win this thing.
Right.
Yeah, it's really hard during a Bud Nationals when you're top to bottom. You've got track champions, you've got
state champions,
IMCA state champions, you've got national top 10 contenders, and they're starting 15th.
Yeah. So overall, last night watching the program, who would you say in any division was the most fun to watch? Just watching the guy attack a track or drive. Who was the most fun to watch last night?
For me, it's a toss-up between Cody Laney and Robbie Sawyer. The way they attack the track in the modifieds, and then Cody, how he attacked the track after he spun from the lead and going to the tail end of the longest line and working his way back up to a 5th place or 6th place?
He was right there.
5th or 6th place. I mean, watch him drive through the field of all that talent, just the forward bite in his car coming off of 2, how he just finessed it through 3 and 4, going down the front stretch. It was impressive.
Mike, who do you think was the most?
Robbie Sawyer, man. He's running that high line with Cody Laney. And Laney being so patient, he knows there's 25, 30 laps to go, okay? So he's not excited at lap 10, and he's down on the inside, and Sawyer's blasting that high side and gets in front of him. Then they switch, and he's back up there again. I love the way the guy drives, and that to me was one of the most exciting things I saw last night.
Go ahead, Corey.
I will say, hands down, I'm going to agree with you, gentlemen. Robbie Sawyer last night, just watching him attack that and truly attack the racetrack, and with him and Cody Laney, we watched those guys switch lines, like you mentioned. We saw Sawyer on the high side, and we saw Laney take the lead. He moved up there. Sawyer moved down, showed him some color a couple times. Didn't matter if Sawyer was on the bottom or the top. He was given everything he had, and he is, especially at Bakersfield Speedway, if you want to watch a guy just as a race fan, having fun, watching a driver, he is that guy to me here. You expect him to put on a show, and he does that. I mean, he gives you a show.
He definitely earned his nickname Rebel Rouser.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go oddball out of all of you guys.
What's new?
Yeah, it fits.
I'm going into the American stocks.
Okay.
47 of Crawford last night. Everybody all running the bottom, maybe middle. This guy drives his big orange fireball up on the top shelf.
Oh, he was giving it.
And putting the right front and the left, or the right front, right rear on the wall and going around everybody. And it was, you don't do that in American stock.
He did.
He did.
He was doing it big time up there.
I mean, he put a clinic on with those guys.
I do enjoy
machine.
watching that class here, too. And that's a good call. I mean, he gave the fans a heck of a show last night in that 47 car.
Back to Robbie Sawyer, talking with him almost every week, he says he doesn't run for points at Bakersfield Speedway. He doesn't run for the championship, even though he got second. And he purposely leaves some races to run other places. He ran in the State Series, ran in the California Series as well, so that he focuses on just winning at Speedway. Okay, it just so happened he had to go with the second place. Brad Pound's minute he took that main event flag, he was the champion. But kind of unique style of thinking, so to speak. You don't want to be the champion on your home track. You just want to win everywhere.
Yeah,
and that's
Robbie does that too. He really does.
And Sully brings up a good point. That's an interesting combination of talent between the Pounds name and the Sawyer name. You've got Brad and Scott. And I know Scott and Robbie battled it out early in the season, watching them come back race side by side.
Yeah, they did.
Watching them race side by side, top 5 in the in Bakersfield, the Budweiser Nationals. Very clean racing.
Yeah,
There's 2 talents right there, old school versus new school.
Well, and talking about Brad Pounds, he was in a heated battle last night in the feature with Ethan Dotson. Those guys went side by side. I can't count how many laps. I mean, they spent most of the feature side by side and swapping like 4th and 5th position back and forth. And again, doing much like Sawyer and Laney, switching lanes on the racetrack, high side, low side. I mean, What a race. Those two guys put on a heck of a show, and they are always fun to watch.
Oh, yeah.
The Brad Pound's winning again the championship, and that's his 5th championship in 7 years. And he is one of the most quiet guys I've ever talked to. Being, Pounds and the dominator, you figured, but he's really kind of shy when you talk to him, and he puts it all out on the track like that. And his father had to tell me that fact. He would not tell me that fact, and so I learned a lot from Brad Pounds, and with his family now, and he goes out to row. And his dad, early 2 races ago, said it's about Brad Pounds in this thing. I'll give him my car if he needs it, and so it was.
And Brad Pounds is not much like his father when it comes to. Yeah, I mean, Scott is completely the opposite. We're talking about. He gets out there and he's not afraid to. We had him on Northwest Dirt News on the phone when him and Robbie Sawyer had a little get together down there at Bakersfield. And one thing I do appreciate about Scott though is he'll tell you what he's thinking.
Yeah.
And he does it in a way that kind of you got to smile. I mean, he's blunt, he's to the point, and there's some things about that I appreciate.
That's the interesting thing about the new school drivers that are out here. A lot of them calm, cool, quiet. Few of them are loud, but you look at their parents, the generation before. Really loud, really
Saturday
aggressive.
night shootout dirt track races.
You can look at Cody Laney. Says maybe 4 words, and they're all thank you to all of his sponsors. Look at his parents. Carla Laney. She is a wild woman when she wants to talk. She'll talk your ear off anytime, any place, anywhere.
She's a lot of fun.
But it's the same thing with the Pounds family. Dad, he'll let you know. Son, I'll let you know when you see the back of my car and I cross the finish line.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, my favorite driver to watch in California so far, because I like the technical side of racing.
Now, are you talking about California or are you talking about the Bud Nationals?
Bud Nationals
okay.
And the California drivers, my favorite one to watch so far because of the technical racing is Ethan Dotson.
Ethan Dotson is phenomenal. But, someone else I enjoyed, I was putting on a heck of a show last night, I really enjoyed, that he did a great job of driving, was Alex Stanford. Stanford was in, and he was in a pack of cars. Everybody in that pack of cars was fast and phenomenal job of driving. Those guys they're so good. I mean, the level of talent is so good. You're seeing cars that they're 3 wide, 2 rows deep, and sometimes 4, and swapping spots, and you're just waiting for the big one, and it doesn't happen because these guys they're just so good in the cockpit, and they're so smooth on the wheel. Impressive.
Yeah.
Now, tonight we have the Sport Mods. They did a qualifier race, the top 12, locked in. They ran 12 laps, and wherever you finish, that's how you start the main event. Garrick Jernigan.
Yes.
Now, there's a kid that can drive.
We had 39 Sport Mods last night show up.
39.
39.
There was a lot of those suckers.
There's going to be more tonight. There was a couple from the coast that didn't make it out here that I heard might be on their way. 39?
That
was the highest car count out of any class.
Yeah.
Modifieds had 37. Late models had like 25.
I think there was 22.
Or 22.
Something like that.
Yeah, 22, 23 that started the main. But
we had 165 cars. Another driver that kind of stood out to me last night after, I had no idea. I'm watching this guy in hot laps and qualifying and going, wow, that he's pretty good. And realizing he's only 14 years old in a late model.
Tumbleweed.
Dylan
Thornton.
Dylan Thornton in a 38T. When I heard he was 14, Mike brought that up.
His dad's racing
Mike,
tonight in the Pro Stocks.
I said, what? He's 14? You'd never know it the way that kid. I mean, he drove like he'd been in a late model for 10 years.
Yeah.
Earlier last year, he was given a car. We talked about it on the podcast. Mark Blackford from Signcraft in Santa Maria, who always says, I have a car. If you got a motor and a seat, I'll put you in it. He hooked up Tumbleweed with a Pro Stock. Tumbleweed went out and ran the Pro Stock, did very well. Moved him over to a Sport Mod. He did pretty good. Said, you know what? I'm going to throw you in a late model. Go for it, kid. Put him in that late model this year. Ran a couple races at Santa Maria. Did very well. Won, I think, in his Pro Stock or in his Sport Mod. And they moved him up to the late model, and he came out. The kid's been a talent in everything that he's ran, and he's ran everything from karts all the way up. He was last year's mini stock of Santa Maria.
Mini stock. He's in a late model now.
He was in a 74 Ford Pinto last year.
That is awesome. I would have never known that kid was just 14 years of age.
I don't think
kid's
age
an absolute talent.
matters anymore. No. Well, let's take where we're at right now. or BKE. You got a dirt track out there.
The little kid out here.
Jet
Simmons.
Yantis, yeah.
Jet, what's his last name?
Yantis.
Jet Yantis.
Yeah.
He's, what is he, 7 years old?
Yep.
Yeah.
We were out there on that track here at Bakersfield Karting Experience, and that little kid he whipped us. I mean, he whipped us. We're gonna get
We're
Joey.
sitting here in this
We're in the party
birthday
room,
and all you see on the wall, Jet first place in his trophy truck. Jet first place in his car with Kenny Wallace over here.
Yeah.
Then you got him in his mini dwarf. The kid is a phenom in this age of video games.
We got to watch him run around here at Bakersfield.
We didn't watch it.
We got to watch it firsthand because he laid the smackdown on all of us.
And I got to feel it.
We were watching him on the track, and the thing that impressed me with that kid is so smooth.
His poise.
Then we got out there with him. He says, "Hey, can we race with you?" I said, "Yeah, come on, let's go. Let's have a good time."
And then his dad goes, "Oh, don't worry. Those cars are slower than you. You'll be fine."
That kid
Put a
lapped
whooping
us.
on us.
He lapped everybody.
With a smile on his face.
I stood up next to him. I got out of the cart, and I'm looking down going, he's no higher than my hip. I mean, this little man can drive. We're being joined here in the party room at Bakersfield Karting Experience by one of the owners, Joey Yantis.
Yes.
I want to say thanks for having us out here to do the broadcast and kind of promote you guys and supporting the Schweitzer family with the fundraiser. How are things going out there?
It's going good. We got 12 carts going. Everyone seems like they're having a good time. So,
how do you not have a good time here? You got the dirt track. We've got, there's a ton of video games. You got a golf driver. You've got RC cars here, pinball,
food, and
a full bar, bar in the back. I mean, this right here, this is one of the coolest places that I've ever seen.
This is adrenaline junkies.
It's a
home.
perfect place for family fun.
Yeah,
Truly.
right now we're under construction. We expanded 10,000 square foot. We used to have an RC track where you could actually rent Traxxas RC cars, but that's under construction. Within 3 weeks, we'll have that back going. And when people have birthday parties, they actually get a free RC rental, so they get to drive the go-kart track, and they get some tokens to play the arcades, and then they'll be able to drive the RC car track. We're moving the kids' crazy kart track where the old RC car track will be, and that's a little road course with a painted apron, painted grass, and we hope that works out pretty good. So
it's the surface. Now, you said you haven't prepped that surface in a while. It's smooth, but it's got a ton of tack in it. I mean, we were out there flying around. Now, I got a kart. I lost air pressure in the left rear like on the second lap. Things got a little loose getting in, but, man, I'll tell you what, I had so much fun driving. My car was fast.
Yeah, absolutely.
I had a fast car. Now, if your guys are lucky, I didn't have any air pressure on that left rear because I would have lapped you again like I did the other night. But, yeah, how'd you guys get started in this, Joey? Let's kind of talk about the history here because I know you're about a year old now.
Yeah, we had 2 kart tracks here in Bakersfield. One was Super Kart. They made it 10 years. And then they were actually profitable when I actually had the chance to talk to the owner of that place. And the building owners raised their rent on them. So we talked to him, and we didn't want to be like all the other kart tracks. I got a dirt track background. All my friends have a dirt track background. So we wanted to build a dirt oval and show the public, how much fun it is to drift around on dirt. And we wanted to incorporate some other things. So all our eggs ain't in one basket. And we kind of just had an idea, and about a month later we went for it. And
mission accomplished, sir.
Yes, sir.
Construction period was about 8 months long, and
Yeah.
opened up. And the day we opened, we weren't ready, but we had to. And this is I'm in the oil business and the water well business, so this is a new type of business for me to be in. So there's been a lot of learning curves down.
We're seeing a lot of people down here now, and we're kind of watching who's walking by. We've seen a lot of people coming in for the fundraiser for Bailey Schweitzer. Did you guys have a goal coming into this, or just?
We just wanted to help out any way we can. I mean, when I heard about that day, and as it probably did many other people, it just kind of ruined my day.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I couldn't imagine how their family feels, and this is little what we're doing. This is nothing, but we just felt like we needed to do something. And
Sure.
I decided to do it and told our marketing girl, hey, do it. It was kind of late notice, but hey, just want to do whatever we could do.
It's a great time to do it. We've got a lot of people from out of state that haven't got this experience. We got a lot of listeners out there. You guys, when we want to invite you down here to Bakersfield Karting Experience, you've got to get down here and check this out. You want to have fun, this is the place to do it. Bring the whole family down, jump in these carts. They've got carts for kids. They've got carts for the adults. We've got video games. Cornhole, pool, golf simulators. You guys have the real deal here. This is it's a total family fun location, and you can't go wrong. we've got out there now. We've ran 3 races together here in the last couple of days, and
Yeah, 3
I'm
or
ready
4.
to run 10 or 12 more. I mean, I don't want to get out of the cart. We're just so much fun out there, and they're not slow. These little things are buzzing around here pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Now, with these carts, what type of motor are we running out here?
These are actually